All right, happy Friday. We begin our next unit. So, we are going to start with the law of signs. Yes, it is plural, and you say it that way, law of signs. The reason that the law of signs is like a separate unit and not part of what we did before is because we are going to be working with non-right triangles, okay? So everything that we've done up until this point, we could have used SOHCAHTOA to kind of help us out, but now we can no longer use Pythagorean theorem or SOHCAHTOA, all right? Because we're going to be working with non-right triangles. I did want to point this out right here. You really can use the law of signs with right triangles, but Pythagorean theorem and SOHCAHTOA is faster, okay? Well, you can be the judge yourself in just a moment. We just try to distinguish that in math. If you have right triangles, you want to use SOHCAHTOA or Pythagorean theorem. With non-right triangles, you want to use the law of sines or the law of cosines, okay? So we're going to do the law of sines today. Here's your formula. You need to write down and memorize. You also can reciprocate this formula, so you know what's on the numerator can go to the denominator and vice versa. I'm a creature of habit, so I typically go like this. All right, so we are going to have lowercase a's, b's, and c's, and then we're going to have uppercase a's, b's, and c's. So I don't think this is something that we're used to, so I want to be clear. Now, y'all know that my drawings are not super artistic. My triangles are kind of going to typically look the same. My pictures are just going to be there to help me. They will not be drawn to scale. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. Okay, so just to let you know, when we have a triangle with A, B, and C as our angles, those are our vertices. So that means this angle, and this angle, okay? Directly across from them should be their lowercase letter. So directly across from C should be lowercase c, and directly across, oops, I did that the wrong way. And directly across from capital B should be lowercase b. The lowercase letters will represent the sides, okay, as I say here. And then the uppercase letters or the bigger letters will represent the angles, okay? So just know they will always be directly across from each other. And we kind of always are going to be looking like this, okay, when we do law of signs. All right, well, let's get into it. So what we're going to do today is because it's Friday and y'all did super great on your test, I was very proud of the grades. There are still some of you that need to take it, but for the most part, y'all have done fantastic. So we're only going to do 4 problems today, okay? So y'all make sure you write this down. Go back and make sure you have the formula written, and then this little example triangle here below. The only thing that I feel like is going to be tricky in this is making sure you understand how to type in the calculator. That's going to be a little hard to convey through video. So I might have to, like on Monday, if you're having trouble understanding how to get it, I guess I could set up my camera, I guess, and video myself. It's just been nice not showing my face because, I've been looking rough these last couple weeks. No makeup or anything like that. But it's also been a little nice. But anyways, if you do have issues with the calculator, just let me know. All right? Okay, so the first thing is, let's look at these directions. It says solve the triangle. So solve the triangle, like that's weird. Like we're used to solving equations and stuff. So let me first state that solve the triangle means find all the missing sides and angles. Ooh. Okay, so we're going to find all of the missing sides and all of the missing angles. All right. So I'm going to kind of write it over here so I don't forget what we're looking for. We are going to be looking for angle A, side A, and side C. Okay, so those are the 3 things I'm looking for. So I'm going to call this side A because it's directly across from angle A. And I'm going to call this side C because it's directly across from side C. Okay? And then this is side B that I already know. All right, the other thing I want you to note is what I am giving you. So I am giving you an angle, and a side. Now, if y'all remember from geometry, angle, side is like a thing, a shortcut, a theorem to prove triangles are congruent. I don't really want you to think in those terms, but I do want you to think AAS, okay? It'll help us with the lessons next week. So I want y'all to write that down as well. So this is an example of AAS. It's an angle, and a side that is not between the two angles, okay? All right, so now we're going to fill in our formula. So the formula says A over sine A, B over sine B, and C over sine C. Now, you guys, you don't have to do all three of these. You can just do two at a time, like those two, or the A and the C, okay? So don't think it has to be a three-part equation. So I'm going to start with, I don't know if y'all see this, but pretty quickly, I know I can find this missing angle A very easily because I know the two angles already. I know 95 plus 35. And then if I add those up and then subtract from 180, so if I add 95 and 35, I get 130. If I subtract that from 180, I've already found angle A, and that should be 50 degrees, okay? So, did I actually have to use the law of sine to find the first angle? The answer is no. Okay, so I'm done. Now, I'm just going to do a quick double check in my calculator, 50 plus 95 plus 35, and make sure I get 180, because, you know, I like to check myself. All right, so now I'm going to have to use the formula 2 times to find A, and then I'm going to, 1 time to find A, and then another second time to find C. So let's start with A. I'm going to do side A over the angle that it matches with, so sine of 50 equals, and then I'm going to use not C because that's an unknown. I'm going to use B, the side that I do know. So I'm going to use 10 over sine 95. Okay? So I am trying to solve for this angle right here. Side. If I want to get that side by itself, I need to get rid of divide by sine 50. So how do I get the A isolated? Well, the inverse operation of divide sine 50 is times by sine 50. And I'm going to do it on both sides. All right, I should have said you really have to have your calculator for this unit, all right? So if you don't have your calculator, pause. I really want you to use a calculator, like a scientific calculator. If you have to use your phone, you're going to have to do the steps like out of order. I can show you that, but it's better to use a calculator. So pick up your calculator or go get your calculator. And now we're going to type this in first. Okay, so let's type it in. You should do 10 divided by, and then just type in sine, and then 95, close your parentheses, and hit enter. You should get 10.038198838. Okay, now we're going to times, and I just hit the times button, you guys, and then it'll just say ANS, which means answer. It'll take the answer and now times by sine 50, close parentheses. And you should get that your answer is 7.68, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Sorry, I don't want to leave all this on here because I don't want it to be jumbled. Okay, so your final answer, we're going to round to the hundredth, so 2 places. Okay, so A is 7.69 centimeters. Now, I'm going to kind of write it over here to remind myself that I've actually found it. And then I'm going to show you a little thing to help you in just a minute. All right, now I'm going to do it again. All right, I'm going to do the same exact formula, except for this time I'm solving for C. So I'm going to go C over what's opposite it, sine 35 equals, and you could use the 7.69 now, but because we abbreviated it or cut off the angle, I'm going to just use what was given to us originally, the 10. Okay, so 10 over sine 95. And now I'm trying to isolate the C, so I want to get rid of this, and I'm going to get rid of it by timesing by sine 35 degrees, so they will cancel out, and then I'm going to do it over here. All right, so let's type it in and see what we get. So C, we're going to type in 10 divided by sine 95. We already did that on the last one. You should get 10.0381 blah. Then times that by sine 35. And you should get 5.76 because the 7 is going to make the 5 round up. Okay, we're done. Now let's make sure, I want to kind of go over some things that you may or may not have learned in middle school, or I can't remember if it's in middle school or elementary school. All right, there is a rule that says in a triangle, the largest side is across from the largest angle, the smallest side is across from the smallest angle, and then the medium side and the medium angle are across from each other. So if y'all look at this, 10 is the largest number. Is the angle across from it the largest angle? Yes. Okay, 35 is the smallest angle. Is 5.76 the smallest? Yes. Now, this is not going to help you check your answer like 100% for accuracy, but what it will do is it will help you like just make sense of your answer, that they kind of are in the right spot. All right, so that's all you have to do. Let's do another one. So this time I'm giving you an angle and a side, but this time it's not AAS, it's ASA, because the side, this side 4, is between these two angles, okay? Now, the only reason I say that is because I want you to understand that ASA and AAS are worked exactly the same way. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write down what I'm looking for so I don't forget anything. So I'm going to be looking for angle B, I'm going to be looking for side A, and I'm going to be looking for side C. Oh, one other thing. Do y'all see how I put approximately here? I really should have put that here and here as well. And that's because we're cutting off some of the decimal, okay? So they should be approximate. All right, let's start by finding angle B because that's easy. So let's do 42 plus 53. That gives me 95, and then I'm going to do 180 minus 95, which should give me 85. I'm like sitting here double checking myself, so you might hear the clicking of the calculator. So right away we know that our angle is 85 degrees. All right, now let's set up our formula, okay? So we're going to do, let's get a different color. Let's do purple. All right, we're going to do side C and side A. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to go A over what's opposite A is sine 42 equals and then 4 over sine, and what's across from 4 is 85. Okay, and if I'm trying to isolate A, I'm going to times by sine 42. So now I should have A as approximately. All right, let's type it in the calculator. So we're going to do 4 divided by sine 85 first. You should get 4.0152, etc., and times by sine 42. And it's a pretty small number, 2.69 inches. Okay. All right, so let's put that in here. Now the reason it's pretty small, well, first of all, we started with a small side of 4, but do y'all see that 42 is the smallest angle, so it should be across from the smallest side, okay? Okay, we're going to do the formula one more time, but this time we're looking for C. So we're going to do C over sine 53 degrees equals, and I'm just going to still use that 4 over sine 85, and then I'm going to get rid of the sine 53, and so C is approximately, so let's type it in, 4 divided by sine 85 equals 4.0152, etc., and then times by sine 53, and you should get 3.21 inches. Okay. And then I'm just going to check that the small matches up with the small angle, the largest side matches up with the largest angle, etc. All right, there are our answers. Okay, so I want you to pause once you get to this screen, and I want you to try these two, okay? This is all I want you to do. You do not have to submit anything to me. I just want you to try them. Pause the video because I am going to keep going. And then once you've tried them, I want you to play the video and see if you got them correct, okay? Okay, I guess I was just working at myself and not talking. I'm sorry. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve these, alrighty? So we're going to go 12 over sine 60 equals A over sine 97. And then I'm going to do it again. 12 over sine 60 degrees equals B over sine 23. And so then I'm going to times by sine 97. And I'm going to times by sine 23. So A should equal and B should equal. Y'all see I'm doing literally the exact same thing on both sides. Okay, so I'm going to do 12, or for both equations. 12 divided by sine 60, you should get 13.856, and then we're going to times it by sine of 97. So we should get 13.75 centimeters. And then we're going to do the same thing over here on the other one. 12 divided by sine 60, and then times by sine 23. Now that side is considerably smaller than the others, 5.41 centimeters, so I just want to double check and make sure that angle is considerably smaller, and it is. Do y'all see that 23 across from it, since 23 is very small, the angle across, or the side across from it should be small. All right. Also, if you're using your phone, if you turn your phone sideways, you can do this. You would just have to type in 12 divided by 60 and then sine, and then hit enter. So you can do this with your phone. You just might need to play around with it a little bit, okay? But hopefully y'all have your calculators handy. All right, so first we should have that this one is 70 degrees. Okay, then we're going to do our formulas, all right? So we're going to do 7 over sine 70. I want to show y'all that you actually can just do it like this. If y'all get in the habit of where you can kind of see, you're just going to times by, the denominator to this fraction over here. If you can do them all together, that's totally fine. Okay, so we're going to do 7 divided by sine 70. And then we're going to times by sine 38. So our B is approximately, maybe I shouldn't do the shortcut yet. Okay, I'm gonna erase it, but y'all get the point, okay? I don't want to just skip steps just yet. All right, so I'm going to times by sine 38 to get rid of those. Okay. So we're going to do 7 divided by sine 70, and then you should get 7.449, etc. And then we're going to times by sine 38. you should get 4.59 meters. Okay, and then we're going to do it again. 7 over sine 70 degrees equals, and this time we're solving for C. Okay, so we want to get rid of this one. So 7 divided by sine 70 times by sine 72 is 7.08 meters. Now I want you to look at something. You see how this 7.08 meters is really close in length to 7 meters? Well, look at the two angles. Do you see that they're only 2 degrees apart? So as the angle opens up just a little bit more, it makes the side just a tiny bit bigger. But it still does follow the rule, you know. The largest side is this, and this is the largest angle, and they are across from each other. Okay, so that's all I want you to do. I want you to enjoy your weekend. I do not want you to think too much about school. We have 5 more days at it before it's spring break, so we're almost there, you guys. And I really miss you. I hope you're doing okay. And just comment or below the post, or you can send me a message if something isn't clear or it's not adding up or whatever. And I'll be happy to try to explain it on Monday. All right, bye-bye.